Hi everyone, I'm Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel, and I'm going to read a book. Reading is extremely important. It was important to me as a kid growing up, to not only read myself, but have others reading to me. So March is reading month, and I've got the opportunity to go ahead and read to some kids in schools, and sometimes we do it virtually. So this here is a very friendly dragon. This is one of my favorite little dragon toys. I have them with me all the time. Well, maybe not, but it's a cute little dragon. But the book I'm going to read you is about a dragon that wasn't so cute and wasn't so good. It was called Dragon Was Terrible. It was written by, the author is Kelly DiPuccio, and the pictures are actually illustrations, are by Greg Pizzoli. So let's see why this dragon was so terrible. Dragon was terrible. Naturally, dragons have a bit of terrible in them because, well, after all, they are dragons. But this dragon here was super terrible. You can see him sitting outside the kingdom, trying to figure out how does he create a problem for inside. Well, he does, and why? Well, he stomped on flowers. He played tricks on the guards, and he even spit on cupcakes. Oh, who does that? This dragon did, that's who. That's disgusting. Nobody's gonna want to eat the cupcakes after that. But that's not all. He even scribbled in books, and he threw sand. Well, he even took candy from baby unicorns. Honestly, who does that? That is actually terrible. Look at Mama Unicorn. She is not happy about that at all. Well, the king of the castle had had enough. Enough, he said. Well, that's not really how kings say it. I mean, when a king says enough, I mean, you hear it. How does a king say enough? He's got his king back. Enough, said the king. Enough, said the king. That's how kings say enough. And he posted a sign on the outside of the castle. When he posted it, he actually wrote on it, it says, "Brave knights, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift. It shall be a nice gift. Ye shall like it. Signed, His Royal Majesty the King." Well, interesting enough, when he actually signed it, you could tell he put that posting up there, and what happened? Well, the dragon saw it, and he actually took spray paint and sprayed on the castle, says, "Dragon was here." I don't think he really cared too much about the king's sign. So what happened was, all the knights had lined up to show off their dragon taming skills, and they all failed miserably. And the dragon, he just grew more terrible. Those poor knights, they were trying to figure out whether they can go ahead and tame this dragon, because they wanted that reward. It didn't work out too well. In fact, the dragon decided to get more terrible by going around and chasing fuzzy yellow ducklings around the moat. Who does that? I mean, think about it. A cute little fuzzy duckling, and he's sitting there chasing him around the moat with a garden hose. How could you do that to a cute little duckling? I don't get it. And then he decided to toilet paper the castle. He actually took toilet paper and just kind of threw it all over the castle. It was like he decorated it with toilet paper. That's not what toilet paper is for. And then he burned every royal marshmallow to a blackened crisp. Who does that? Why would anybody burn the marshmallows? We can have nice fluffy little marshmallows to eat. I would never, ever burn a marshmallow, kids. It's bad. Eat the marshmallow like it is. It's better than being burned with chicken. I love it this way. It's so good. Then the villagers, they got upset. They had had enough. Enough, they said. They say it differently than king. In fact, they all speak differently. Enough, 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 enough. But they all kind of said it in unison. So they decided to kind of post a sign. But really what they did is they wrote over the king's sign. What they wrote was, "Brave people, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift from the king. It shall be a nice gift. We hope ye shall like it, perhaps." Once again, signed, His Royal Majesty. Well, the dragon saw that sign, and he decided to go ahead and spray paint on the castle again himself. And it says, "Dragon was here again." He is not afraid of these people. That's how terrible he is. So ordinary blokes and lassies lined up to try their hand at taming the dragon. Blokes and lassies. Oh, boys and girls. That's what a bloke and a lassie is. Boys and girls, men and women. And guess what? They all failed, embarrassingly so. And just when you thought it wasn't possible, the dragon grew even more terrible. So now he's thinking, I can rule this kingdom here. So he went around and he popped birthday balloons, and he drew funny faces on the drawbridge. And he even burped in church loudly. And honestly, now that's terrible. It's actually kind of gross. That's not very appropriate, burping out loud. Well, a boy wearing a feathered cap and a look of determination had had enough. Only he didn't say enough like you thought he would. Instead, he sketched a story. He's going about this a whole different way. The next day, the dragon followed a trail of marshmallows to a shady tree where the boy was reading. I suspect the boy kind of put those there to get him to come to that tree. That's my suspicion. So what the boy did was, he actually saw the dragon coming. The boy spied him out of the corner of his eye, and he began to read out loud in a booming voice. And then the brave dragon swooped in to save the princess, he said. The dragon stopped in his tracks. He's interested in this book now. I think the boy's got his attention. But the terrible knight pulled out his wicked sword. The dragon pretended not to listen. The dragon roared, and the fraidy cat knight trembled in his boots. The dragon pretended to walk away. He's pretending like he doesn't want to listen, but he's very interested because it sounds like it's a brave dragon. And all of a sudden a crowd began to gather, and the dragon took cover in a tree. The boy continued reading, page after page after page. Probably not one of the safest places for a dragon to be hiding, up in a tree. Well, as he continued reading, and all of a sudden, snap, crash, the dragon landed on the ground with a terrible thud. The crowd gasped. The dragon roared, "Roar!" The clever boy didn't flinch. He reached out a hand to the dragon and said, "Would you like to hear how this story ends?" And just when you thought it wasn't possible, the dragon smiled, and he took a seat beneath the tree with the other children. Honestly, now that's adorable. Who'd have thought? Looks like the dragon is tamed. The king cheered, the villagers cheered, the baby unicorn and the fuzzy ducklings, they cheered the loudest of all. At long last, the terrible dragon had been tamed. The end. Oh, hey, wait. What about that reward? Oh yes, that. The gift was a new friend. A nice dragon, of course. That was the boy's reward. Since he tamed the dragon, he got to keep him as a pet. Now, wouldn't you like to have a pet dragon at home? Just ask your parents if you can get yourself a pet dragon, and I'm sure they'll want to get you one. It's probably going to be more like this dragon than it is going to be a real dragon. But again, reading is extremely important, not just during reading month. Reading all the time helps you with your education moving forward and just understanding general things in life. So it's important that you pick up a book once in a while and make sure you read. And it's also good for adults to help children read. Maybe pick up a book and continue to read with them so they understand the importance of it, but also they'll pick up some good habits about reading moving forward in life. Again, thank you for listening and continue to read.